This is podcast episode, I don't know, 9, 10, something like that.
Volume 3.
I'm doing what's the word for not not dry, but close to dry? Is there a word for that?
Semi-dry. Damp.
Not damp though. There needs to be something where it's like just a splash of water. That's the type of January I'm gonna do. I don't want to do dry January, but I'm gonna do slightly dry January. Um, that's up with me. I went to Vancouver and Seattle, and
Oh, so
I
you're all sorts
honestly,
of libwats now.
dude, San Francisco is actually less liberal than Seattle is.
I believe it.
Um, it was pretty flooring, dude. Seattle is disgusting. And yeah, that was cool. And I wanted to talk about something. That's what the podcast is normally for.
That's why we have this here platform where we can
Yeah,
talk
this
about
is just we
things.
talk about something.
Yeah.
And so I went to Vancouver and I went to Seattle, and Seattle was definitely way worse. Vancouver was very cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
See
very
it.
cool.
Is it racist if I say Canuck? Is that good?
Canucks?
Is that bad?
I think a Canuck is like calling somebody a Yankee.
Okay, yeah. You see any Canucks?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I saw the Canucks. They beat the shit out of the Sharks.
Oh no. That's sad.
And I tell you what was really lame about Canada. They only have at games like hockey games, because that's really all they have in Canada. Well, like at least in Vancouver, I guess they have a soccer team, MLS. But and they have I forgot about Canadian football. But they only serve 12-ounce beers at their arenas, like at the event, which is crazy because if you want to go get beers, they still have the same bullshit rule.
Where you can only hold like 2 at a time.
You can only get 2 a person. Which because at least in America, I mean, I'm already bothered by the 2 at a time rule in America. And those were with 16 to 24-ounce beers. I was a lot more bothered with having because that's 4 beers as compared to having literally 2 beers in your hand.
Yeah.
So I was just going back and forth to the concessions the entire time. It wasn't that horrible though. And it was a cool stadium. And the atmosphere, that's something that I was very surprised by. The atmosphere for, like a hockey game in Canada is actually like pretty top notch. It's kind of crazy. The tickets that I got in Vancouver Stadium were like 10 times more expensive for the same seats I would get. Yeah, I mean, like that's like they fucking love hockey up there, and like honestly, hockey, like the hockey games there kind of felt just like more like watching a hockey game in Canada felt more like I was like watching like the Winter Olympics of like 1988, like the Russians versus the United States, versus when I watched hockey in San Jose, like I'm watching, Cirque du Soleil, and there happens to be hockey on the ice too. I don't know, like they have like this old school, it feels like an actual like hockey barn. That's what the kids call it.
I've heard.
And people know the rules, which is actually crazy. Like they watch hockey like how we watch football. So when we watch football, we'll be like, that's a false start, like offside, that's totally PI. And then like you have people like argue. When I'm watching hockey though, I'm just like basically, I mean, I'm not like a huge hockey fan, but there'll be a penalty and like I'll have no idea what'll happen, but I'll be like, oh yeah, power play, or oh damn, they got a power play. That sucks. Like, and I have no idea why they got it or why we didn't get it. Because I always like see all these hockey rules, like it's like, well, tripping. It's like I feel like they trip each other all the time in hockey, anyways. So I don't know how that's a penalty, and when it's not a penalty, that makes not a lot of sense to me. But anyways, like they like really understand the game, which is crazy. Because like again, like in San Jose or even like watching college hockey in Wisconsin, it's not like I really haven't seen a lot of fans be like, oh yeah, like dude, that was like a blah 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 blah, like talk about hockey in that way and have everybody else around them like know exactly what he's talking about. But they did, like they would
Mhm.
be like, oh yeah, oh he's totally got like blah blah blah, his hands there, but he shouldn't be doing that's a penalty. So that was kind of cool to see. Felt like upside down world though, because that is how we talk about football,
Oh
where
yeah.
everybody who's like a fan of the NFL or college football just pretty much knows all of the penalty rules and stuff. And
No,
then
it's great. It's great here in Dallas though. When you go to a hockey game, when you go to a Stars game, literally all anyone's doing is rooting for a fight the whole time. So like, yeah,
yeah,
I understand completely what you're saying. It's like no one knows what the fuck's going on. You just will see like someone hit someone.
you're just watching hockey versus like
Yeah.
they're like actually, well, I guess they're also watching hockey.
The beauty of the sport though is a different level to them. Yeah.
And then I went to a suspension bridge that was swinging in the like those like bridges that like swing back and forth
Like
and
the one from Shrek, like
yeah,
the
like pretty
wooden
much
bridge.
no,
Yeah.
like I'm talking about like a draw, like not a drawbridge, like the ones that are like loose, like they're not,
Yeah.
intact. They're made of like planks and two ropes.
Yeah.
That's like that's the bridge I went on.
Yeah.
It's
That's what I'm
called the
talking about.
Cap.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's really scary
Yeah.
because dude, it was crazy. I was so surprised. I asked one of the guys. So I went to this place called like Capilano Suspension Bridge, and to give you guys a background, maybe Zach can like show a picture for you guys on the screen. And it's very beautiful, but it's like 400 feet up, and the tourists that are there. I mean, I can't really say exactly that I'll tell you about the type of tourists that were there based on their characteristics. So, you go there and maybe I was just out of the ordinary, but it's creaking back and forth. The ledge is not that high to me. Like it's probably about yay high. So, I'm not likely to be tipped over, but there's a chance. I mean, if somebody like bumps into me and I don't know, the thing is swinging in the wrong direction and it's over like a 400-foot drop to it's a 400, probably 400, 500-foot drop down to a river and like a beautiful canyon or whatever it is. And
Yeah.
so you're walking along and there are certain people who stop and stand in the middle of your fucking way. So you'll be walking like, right, imagine me like walking and there's someone in front of me, or I'll be the person in front of me. I'm walking behind me. Like you'll be walking. It's like
Oh my
stop.
gosh.
You're like, what the fuck?
Like I
And
can't
dude,
move.
they take a picture every 5 seconds. There was one family where we were going down this. They have like, not only do they have the suspension bridge, which is sick, but it swings back and forth. They also have like this thing called a cliff walk, which again is based on the name. You can see that's probably
Uh-huh.
a little bit sketchy. There's one family that took a picture every 5 feet. Like they literally, you'd be walking, stop, picture, walking, stop, picture. And I wanted to, I wanted to throw them off the bridge. Like it was so fucking stressful to see that shit.
Was the wood like creaking every step? Because that's what
Yeah,
makes it good.
it's not like it's creaking a little bit. Like
Oh no.
I don't remember that specifically because I was more just concerned with like holding on for dear life on the rope. And also I was like, what if there's an earthquake right now? Dude, I better hold on. And if this thing tips over because it swings back and forth.
Mhm.
Dude, if you gotta look up a picture of this thing. It's called a Capilano suspension bridge. It's actually kind of nuts. And it is insane to me. I asked one of the guys there, it's like, so how many people have died on that? And he was like, well, I'm not supposed to tell you like the actual number, yada yada. And I was like, well, just tell me. And we became boys, so he had a right to what's the he had a reason to tell me. And he
Oh,
was
this
like,
thing, it's crowded as fuck.
dude, yes, it's packed with tourists. And they're the most annoying tourists of all time. Like look, I understand snapping a picture, but take a picture and fucking get out of there. Because like dude, I would literally get like trapped with people, and like the bridge will literally swing back and forth. Also, not to mention,
Uh,
like we went in the winter, so I can only imagine what it's like in the summer when that thing
mhm.
is like packed. Because
Yeah.
that would freak me the fuck out.
I
But
was
then
expecting like plank space, plank, but it's like all like boards like
no, I
around
mean
each other
I
going
don't
all the
think it
way.
could be
Yeah.
like a tourist attraction if people actually died.
You'd be surprised.
Well, yeah, I mean the Golden Gate Bridge is a tourist attraction, and people kill themselves on that almost every day.
Hmm.
But yeah, he said that one time a mother uh said she tripped and accidentally threw her baby off the suspension bridge like in like 1989. But apparently, I mean, obviously she probably just threw her baby off the ledge.
Yeah.
And then he said that sometimes like once every 5 years someone kills themselves off of it. But
That's
it would be
horrifying.
it's an expensive bridge to kill yourself off of though, because you got to pay like 60-70 bucks to get on it. So it's like
But when you went, was it all lit up like it is here on the picture
like
that
with the
you can see?
lights.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a bunch of lights in the trees and stuff. It was like a
Yeah.
magical enchanted forest. It was beautiful.
No, it looks awesome. It looks like a sick like view, but I still would not do that.
The bridge?
Yeah, I would not do the bridge.
You
Not
could do the
especially if
bridge.
there's a ton of people on it.
Dude, yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, you can handle the bridge. It's actually like my parents, like they were not scared at all, and they were like, I don't know why you're like freaking out about it. And my dad has an extreme fear of heights. Um, but like yeah, they were they it was fine. Like you could definitely do it. It doesn't swing as viciously as I'm probably describing.
Okay. Well, that makes me feel a little better.
And they said that it wouldn't be a problem in an earthquake.
I don't see how that's true. Like, I mean, I'm sure it's not, but I don't see how that could possibly be
Apparently,
true.
like they just don't get like apparently they don't get as many earthquakes in Vancouver as they do other places, but I don't know. I'll have to find
Uh,
out.
my parents went through an earthquake in West Texas not a month ago.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah. Shout
Well,
out
that's probably
fracking.
nuclear testing or some sort of,
No, it's we've started getting them out there with fracking and everything. People need their
fracking.
oil.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a fracking problem. See what I did there?
Yeah, that was funny.
Thank you.
Um, and yeah, it was cool. Had a fun
Okay.
time.
There you go. Vancouver. Summed
Vancouver,
up.
I highly recommend it. I gotta talk about Teslas.
Oh no.
Those are the worst fucking cars on earth.
I
I
saw
do,
this tweet and I was waiting for you to like go into it with more depth.
so like we rented a Tesla. We were joking around because the lady there, she talked like this. She's like, "Hi, how's it going?" She was just like a traditional, like really stupid fat girl. She was like, "Hey guys, how are you guys doing today?" And just like didn't really have any clue about like what she was talking about, or what she was doing, but she was very nice.
Okay.
And so she said, "We can upgrade you guys to the Tesla. It's actually only $35 a day." And just like, trying to like make jokes and conversations that just weren't necessary. We just wanted to get the fuck on the road.
Yeah.
So we chose the Tesla over Toyota Corolla, which was a mistake. Because the Tesla was nice and big, but man, they don't talk about people who own Teslas. They don't talk about how much of a fucking pain in the ass it is to charge a Tesla. Do you guys know how long it takes to charge a Tesla?
Me and Swig were having the same conversation. Neither of us knew how long it would take.
Take a guess.
An hour.
Sometimes it could be
Okay.
anywhere from an hour to 4 hours to charge Tesla.
Oh my god.
Dude,
How
it
often
is
do you have to charge it?
so oh my god, let me tell you about this.
Oh
If
no.
you drive a Tesla, I now think of you as one of the dumbest fucking like Schween goober followers, group thinkers I've ever imagined in my life. They look like absolute fucking dipshits. After driving a Tesla like for the first time consistently, I realized how much of a good con man Elon Musk is into suckering these dipshits into thinking that a Tesla is a good car. The Tesla battery has about as my phone has one of the worst batteries on planet Earth. This phone lasts longer, probably by like 5 hours, than a Tesla. Tesla, you start at 80%, and they say like you can't charge it over 80%. Like we would sit at a charging port, they're like, you can't charge, like it'll stop at 80%. Why not just make that 100%? Why tell me I can't have the extra 20%? Just seems stupid to me. And then you drive for 3 hours, boom, you're down to at least like 25%, 30%. 3 hours. And like and then if you want to charge it again, man, you lose. Tesla owners look so fucking stupid because you just go up to the supercharger. Oh, and the fucking dumb bitch at the Hertz rent-a-car place, she said, there are actually more superchargers than gas stations in this area. Wrong. She was fucking pointing out to the fact that yes, there are probably more individual like Tesla charging ports that, so it's kind of like saying there are more gas pumps than there are like gas stations. And
Yeah.
because that obviously, well, duh, at a gas station, there's like 15 however many pumps there are. So she was comparing like the individual Tesla chargers. So like every supercharger station has like 6 of them. So there are more of those than there are gas stations in the area, which is just fucking stupid. We were looking on the map because like every Tesla, of course, has to have, like the GPS system has to have every single supercharger port place you can go to, because if you don't get there, your car's gonna run out of battery and you're gonna be stranded. And like, so also, dude, you pull up to one of these supercharging places, we would have to stop at least once or twice, like on the way there. And you would just sit there looking like a total fucking idiot because you just look around and you're like, man, all of us got suckered into thinking this was good. You're gonna spend 40 minutes a day of your life, an hour of your day of your life, sitting in your fucking car waiting it to charge. And you can't also, what they don't tell you about Teslas, you can't charge it at any electrical car charger. It has to be the specific Tesla charger, which props to Elon Musk. This is like one of the best rackets I've ever heard of in my life. And you would sit there for 40 minutes. Well, one time it said it was going to be 4 hours for our car to be fully charged. That was longer than we've been driving. I'm taking a Tums because I'm burping a lot. Dude, it's fucking insane. If you drive a Tesla, I now think of you as such a fucking dipshit. I would never get that car. I don't care how expensive or how bad the Earth's climate gets. I'm driving a gas car for the rest of my life.
Fill it up.
Until they change that. Until they change how fucking horrible it is. Also, everything. I mean, everything's so fucking complicated. Just for the sake of being like, we don't have door handles. I've never fucking complained about a door handle in my entire life. Okay, it's the dumbest shit ever. They take all this stupid, all the easiest, most simple shit ever, and they turn it into like 3 different steps. Door handle, right? You grab the handle, you pull it. Okay, the Tesla door handle, you push on it, and then you pull on it. And I'm just like, okay, so you guys made your car look a little bit fucking sleeker for what? For what? It's so dumb. Like, and then I have to sit there, push, pull, and it's so like uncomfortable to do. There's no lock button on the car except for the stupid fucking touchscreen. So it literally looks like an iPhone, like the way you lock the door. And you're like, did I actually lock the door? Of course they don't do fucking keys. So you have to take like a credit card. And if you want to use your car key, if you want to drive in the front seat, you can't just like put your key in the goddamn ignition, twist it and go. No, you take your card, all right, and then you put it into a secret little spot underneath the middle console, and you tap that. And if you want to get into the car, you take the card and you have to aim it at the camera just right so you can unlock the car. I'm like, what are we doing here? We got keys for years. Just fucking unlock the car and open the door and put the fucking key in the ignition and let's goddamn go. Pump the gas for 5 minutes. And it was like, dude, what the fuck are we doing here? If I want the sunroof open, I had to like download an app and like make an account. I'm like, dude, I just want to see the fucking sunroof. Like, what are we doing? This is so stupid to me. Everything. If you drive a Tesla, I now think the worst things possible about you. You are such a fucking dipshit, dude. These cars are just like unbelievably stupid. I can't wrap my head around it. You want to like roll down the window? Oh my god. Dude, I opened up the car door in the middle of the fucking highway because instead of just like in the door, you unlock, you open up the door.
Yeah.
No, they have a button for that. And I thought it was, I thought that was, for the fucking window. And I pressed it. It's like no door. And then also when I'm on the highway, then going 70, 80 miles an hour, it's not like I could just shut the door normally like a regular car. No, the way the Tesla works, I have to push the car further out into the highway and then close and slam it back like that. I can't just like literally keep it open for half a second, like slightly open, and then just ram it back. No, I have to open it all the way on the fucking highway and ram it back into the door while this fucking death machine is beeping at me senselessly, being like, your front door is open. No fucking shit, dude. My friend, I'm holding on for dear life to my front door.
I just imagine Mr. and Mrs. Watts out there being like, why are you opening doors? And it's like, I didn't know it
my
was
mom.
a door.
My mom did the same thing at border control. Like we were literally at border control. We were at border control, and my mom's like trying to hand the lady passports, and then she opens up the door and like she's like, oh fuck, and it's just like beeping, beeping, beeping. She's like, how do I close this thing? The lady's like, what's going on? And my mom's like, nothing. I'm just trying to close this fucking door. The only good thing about that car is that it's comfortable. Like you have a lot of space. But other than that, dude, oh my god, I would rather fucking drive a clown car around.
Well, thank
I'd rather
God
drive
you,
Ryan's car around.
Hey, what is that supposed to mean?
you have a shitty
Car
car.
sucks.
It's broken right now, yes, but
When it
How
works,
many times in the past 6 months has your car been broken?
twice.
That's bullshit. That's not a real answer.
twice is a
The
lot. for a
vandalism,
fucking car
breaking
being
and
broken.
thing doesn't count because that wasn't like the car's fault. That's just some crackhead living outside.
I feel
my
like every time I talk to you, you're like, oh yeah, the Jeep's back in the shop. Got to figure something out.
No, so here's the thing: when the light comes on, you just ride with it until like you just possibly can't ride with it anymore safely.
See, that's why your Jeep's always broken.
You just
because
turn up the radio and you don't listen to the noises until it's like time to go.
I can't take you serious with the Panthers beanie on. This isn't good.
I'm at my parents' house and I have the back door open so the dogs can freely go in and out, so they don't try to bark too much. So it's a little chilly.
How many dogs do you have?
3.
D-Rock has 9.
9 dogs.
He has 9 dogs, legitimately.
That's far too many dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised they've been so quiet already.
He's trying to speak in soft voices to make sure they don't.
Well, the
I don't really
puppy's
think I've
playing
ever
here.
heard you
The
loud.
older one's like kind of walking back and forth there. I'm like, all right, as long as y'all don't try to fight each other, we should be good.
What type of dogs do you have?
Blue healers and then a Sheltie.
A Sheltie?
Yeah. He was
What's a Sheltie? A shelter
like
dog. A shelter dog.
no, a Sheltie. It's like a little cattle dog.
Is it actually called a Sheltie?
Yeah. We found him in a parking lot when I was like in middle school.
A Shetland sheepdog.
And then a rescue and then a spoiled ass puppy. So
There we go.
Have you guys been in a Tesla before?
No, I've never been in the Tesla, and I'm very glad that you and Ryan did not decide to rent that one to go to Tallahassee now.
Dude, That I'm telling you, Ryan, have you ever driven one?
I haven't driven one. I've been one as an Uber, but
Yeah,
like,
bro. It's a comfortable passenger ride. I was actually thinking about that. About what if we took the Tesla from Charlotte to Tallahassee? It would have added a full 2 hours, maybe more, onto our trip.
well, I
Like
mean,
you
obviously we weren't looking for the chargers either, but from what I remember, I don't remember seeing anywhere to charge them.
No, so like you have to go to specific places and well most of the time like they're in gas stations. There would probably be a place for us to go, but I would not be surprised if our car got stranded at some point. We would have been fucked. Like we would
We
legit
went for BFE Georgia for like 3 hours itself.
yeah, there were no fucking chargers and the superchargers there.
There wasn't
That's
even
for sure.
gas stations.
Shout out Bucky's. Every Bucky's has one. Has a Tesla port.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. But dude, I mean, if you and also dude, I would look at the other people at the fucking superchargers in the middle of nowhere. And man, just like the faces they made, like the dumb, you could just see the dumbness from their face. You know, like looking at their phone, like, well, they
Is
wait.
it?
This is
is
something
it-
they do every day for an hour. My Tesla's charging for an hour. I gotta sit on my phone and sit in my car. Or, oh yeah, guess what? If you also like, if you want to go to, you know, that if you want to go to a Tesla charger every day or something, you got to park, and then you got to sit there for an hour, and then you better pray there's something to do. Like you'd either have to. I mean, okay, a lot of people who own Teslas have the chargers in their, the garage or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you can't make it there, then you have to like carve out an hour of your day to sit at some sort of mall or garage. And then you got to be like, well, I can go walk around and shop for an hour and then I can go back to my car. Instead of just like going to the gas station, pumping your car, and boom, you're done for the next fucking whatever, I mean, how many times do you pump your gas?
Once every 1 or 2 weeks.
Yeah, like that seems pretty reasonable to me.
Mhm.
Driving a Tesla, you would have to charge it like, I mean, because we were doing 2 road trips, but granted, these were only like 2.5 hour trips. Like these were
Oh, good God.
something like we would be cruising with a full tank of gas. We probably need to refill once or twice, and we didn't even drive around. Like when we went to the cities, we didn't drive it. We literally would park it at a garage overnight, like for like 3 days, 2 days, 3 days. And then we would leave. We picked it up and went from Vancouver back to Seattle and then dropped in the garage. We used the car 3 times from Seattle to Vancouver, Vancouver to Seattle, and then from our hotel to the airport.
And you had to fill it up 4 times.
We had to charge it. Yeah, we had to charge it. Let me think. We had to charge it 4 times. Yeah, we had to charge it 4 different times.
Lord. That's actually the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Does it like cost money to charge it, or is it free to like? I'm trying to think of any benefit.
I don't
of it.
know. It was so weird. Oh, that was the thing. So I think it like charged like the rental company. But the craziest part, so like because it charges, we don't have to pay for it, but like it says the cost of it. So it was like 20 Canadian dollars, I remember, for like the first charge, which is like $12. And this is what I was thinking. This is what also Tesla owners don't want to tell you about this stuff because they're embarrassed about it, and the fact that they know they bought like a $40,000 piece of shit. Sometimes it can be like a $70,000 piece of shit, and they just don't want people to know that how stupid their purchase was. So you never hear any Tesla owners talk about how dumb the fucking charging process for these things are. So it's like basically $15 every single time you charge at one of these things, which means that it is not at all cheaper than driving a regular car.
No.
And their electric bills must be fucking bizarre. It's probably, so that was like $60 total for 4 different. It's
That's
like, okay,
rough.
that's the same amount that we were spending on gas. We didn't actually pay for it. I think it went to like whatever the account underneath the car was. Like I think Hertz paid for it or some shit. But it was just ridiculous. I was like, who in their right mind? Like somebody's got to let these fucking idiots know. Like this is a stupid purchase.
Nick Watt's gonna free the world of Tesla. He's gonna anti-Musk guy right here. He's gonna go at war
Look,
against Tesla.
I mean, if it lasted like if the charging process took 5 minutes, sure, I'd be fine with that. You know, if it was like a 5-minute charge and boom, you're like at 100%, and you're good for the next 2 days. And then because like the thing is, okay, if I'm good for the next 2 days, and I don't know, as far as I know, you don't really have to pay for it. That's fine. But I have to pay for it and sit there for 40 minutes. No, thank you. And yeah, I don't like Elon Musk. I mean, I don't hate Elon Musk, but I have a very milquetoast opinion on him, which is like what I think most people should have on Elon Musk. Like he's just he's super corny. But like more props to him for coming up with these different schemes of like
Ultimate dagger.
And the craziest thing is that all the liberals hate him now. And meanwhile, you go around San Francisco, you'll never find more Teslas in your life. You know, you'll never find more Teslas than in these, communities, which is just so fucking ironic. And they talk about how much they hate this guy. It's like you're driving his car, dude. You are the sucker.
I mean, he's got to get his bag from somewhere, and he found the right suckers to do it. So why not?
Yeah. Anyways.
So Jeeps are better than Teslas, is what I'm hearing.
Slightly, yeah.
So like they have an electric Jeep now. They have an electric fucking GMC
Bronco.
Sierra, an electric Bronco. Like, does Chrysler, GM, and Ford have their own chargers too, or could you go to like this Tesla supercharger?
So that's the thing. So they have the poor person charger. If you use the poor people charger, then the Tesla owners are going to look down on you because man, if you're using the poor person charger, wow, that's just
faster. Do we know?
I have no idea. I just know that Tesla has. So that's the thing is that Elon Musk makes you use his own like devices. So he's like making money.
It's like Apple
hand over fists. What?
It's like Apple with how.
Yeah, he's literally like Apple. He's like only the Tesla chargers fit into his compartment, and I don't think any other company can like make electric chargers that fit Teslas.
It says that the electric Jeep could travel 21 miles on full electricity before the hybrid engine switches to the gas.
21 miles?
That's it. That won't even get me. That won't even get me like that's down the street in Dallas. That's actually crazy.
That's nothing. They shouldn't be allowed to call themselves a hybrid.
Like I couldn't even get to the old office in one trip.
20 miles is legitimately that's 20 minutes. 20 minutes of driving.
They shouldn't be able to call that a hybrid.
That's not a hybrid.
It also takes 2 hours to charge.
2 hours to charge?
Wow.
So 20 minutes of driving, 2 hours charging.
Who the fuck are these people that are like, yeah, I have my hybrid and I just drive around the city, never have to fill up. It's awesome. It's like, you go fuck yourself. That's a lie.
We need to start look, they just, for these electric vehicles, they should have just kept these in the fucking test tube until they got this right. Until they figured out, okay, this functions just as good as a car. We're running on gas. I mean, I guess if fucking now I just look at all these people that own electric cars like suckers. Because at first, I didn't really care. I wasn't opposed to it. I was like, oh, Teslas are cool. Could be cool to have one. When I found out about that shit, now I'm like, holy fuck, these people are actually idiots. Because I didn't realize you have to sit at the fucking Tesla charger for an hour.
That just makes no sense to me. Why anyone would do that? And then this one dude bought a hybrid BMW or something and had the battery installed in his garage wall or something.
Yeah. And
he said that alone cost $2,000, some thousands of dollars to get just the battery set up in the wall. And it's that alone right there is several months of gas.
Yeah, so apparently Tesla pays for your charger in your
Well, that'd be
garage.
nice.
I'm
That'd
not
be nice
sure
if they did
though.
that.
I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, now there's so many Teslas everywhere. I mean, I assume they're like it can't cost that much if there's that many Teslas
Yeah.
everywhere.
That's what I'm thinking. They must be able to like put them in their wall. I mean, the only way for me it would make sense, well, the way my dad and I were talking about it, the only way it would make sense is if like your work had a Tesla charger, so then you could just
Yeah,
take their electricity.
that's crazy. One of one of my good friends who's in our fantasy league, Watts, he had to get a new car for work. They paid him to get a new car, and we're trying to push him to get a hybrid for like looks and all that. They said it would look better since he's in sales for this company that does medical device sales. He said it would look better to clients if he had a hybrid or something. So
Really?
he had to do that. Yeah, and that he never uses the like electric side of it. Said he only charges it like maybe, whatever, really just fills it up with gas.
And then I saw the Tesla truck, the new Cybertruck.
Dude, I was big on the Cybertruck when it was first like about
Well,
to
like,
come out.
Still a thing.
Yeah, so like apparently they're coming out with it, and the Cybertruck is amazing to me because it's the perfect. It's like a lot of things. It's like when nerds try to like come up with solutions for like sports, right? So it'll be like if some nerd says, "Oh well, this new logo apparently with the cleaner lines, and we've done market research, and it's shown that 55% of people enjoy these cleaner lines more frequently in these new logos. Like we need to, like that's like whenever somebody like changes, like I know the Eagles changes their logo and it looks awful now, or like what other bad like sports logo changes have there been? It's like
The Commanders.
yeah, like well, I mean that, and then there was I'm trying to think of the other ones. Oh, like the Clippers and just like shit like that. Where it'll be like, nerdy brainiacs who think they know more than like an actual sports fan. Like they try to interject, or like if they talk about beer, they're like they look at it from their lens, like, oh yes, we need to make a super triple IPA, and this tastes good to most people and everybody's gonna love it. And they only think that because all the people that they hang out with, which is like a 0.1 percentage of society, enjoys the triple IPA. Meanwhile, 99% enjoys the, Bud Light. And so like that, like when I look at a Cybertruck, that's exactly what it is. It's like nerds coming up with what they would want out of a truck versus like who actually uses a truck.
Yeah.
Like if you actually had a fucking Tesla Cybertruck and you like pulled up to the construction site, everybody would make like just roast you for an hour. It looks fucking ridiculous.
Like you guys have both been in my truck. I have a very nice truck, and like I would
Yeah.
take that over the majority of vehicles, let alone a like new cyber truck.
Yeah. I
Like,
mean, it looks so fucking stupid.
yeah. I mean, when you first see it, it's like, oh, that's different. That's fun. And then you see all the stuff with it. And then like you get down to this conversation where it's like, oh, I actually have it. And I have to, I can only
Imagine how
drive
long
20
that
miles at a
fucker's gonna
time.
charge.
Yeah. Their whole thing with that, I remember when it first came out, if you bought like the big package of it, it also came with like a four-wheeler, like a Tesla four-wheeler that you could have with it. And it's like, what
Really?
the fuck am I gonna do with a four-wheeler in the bed of this truck? Like the truck is literally just to drive around this four-wheeler now.
You know what I think?
What do you think?
I don't think there's any scientific evidence behind it, but I think
Okay.
brown eggs taste better than white eggs.
Like, okay,
What?
where are you going with this? Right, hang on. Ryan, do you know that there are also brown eggs?
Yeah, but I've never met anyone that has actually ate brown eggs.
What? Just hear what Ryan just said?
He's never met anyone that's ate brown eggs.
The brown eggs that you're talking about that I'm thinking on. No,
What are you thinking of?
Yeah,
Are
I've
you-
never seen anyone, have 'em or eat them or talk to
You've
them.
never seen a brown egg before?
I have seen them in the grocery store, but they're always like all the white eggs are gone. All the brown ones are still just loads and loads just sitting there untouched.
It sounds like you go to a racist grocery store. If I
I go
had
to
to, if I
Target.
had to,
I mean, I just think brown eggs are better, but I just had eggs this morning, and this is just a slight tangent into our conversation. Now you've met one person in your life who's eaten a brown egg. I didn't
I've
know
had
that was
brown
weird.
eggs. I did not notice the difference between either of them.
I don't think there
If
is a
you want me to be-
difference. I don't know. There's
yeah.
just something about a brown egg to me that just looks more appetizing. I wanted to know if you had to make Gordon Ramsay a meal, what would you make him? Because I don't know how to properly crack an egg too. That was another admission I was gonna
Yep.
make. I crack eggs. Look, people are gonna say, "Oh, Nick doesn't know how to crack an egg." I make scrambled eggs like 3 times a week. I've cracked many eggs, but it's never perfect. Like I never have there's always like a little shell that gets in there. I've never like boom crack them, no shells, even split. It's always just. And people say you have to crack them onto flat surfaces. I saw that on TikTok. Doesn't work for me. Always crack it directly on the edge of the bowl. Just
I always do the edge of the counter. That's where I'm at.
okay. That works too. But I need some sort of surf. Like I don't.
I use
I don't
the other
want,
egg.
what?
I use the other egg to crack it.
He's the dumbest person
What?
I've ever met. in my
I
life.
am so serious.
Dude,
I also eat all the eggshells.
do you
What are
have
talking
eggs right
about?
now?
I'm at my parents' house. I'm like, I don't know, maybe.
Go check if they have eggs. I want
Dude,
to
if
see
you
you crack
have
an
two
egg over a
eggs,
bowl
if
right
you
now.
have 2 eggs, I need to see you do this.
I need to
What?
see this.
How do you crack an egg with another egg?
You just like
And
bash
what
them
if you're out of
together.
eggs?
No. So you know how like one side's usually got like a little bit of a flatter bottom on it, ish. You just hit the head on that. It gets a nice little crack down the middle of it, and then you just split it, and then done.
But there are so many other surfaces you can crack an egg on.
Yeah,
They
but
could do the
Ferrari
same
crack-
thing that's also flatter. You know what I mean? Like there's other flat surfaces that would do better than a rounded, flatter edge of an egg. Flatter.
I don't even
in
use. I can't
quotations.
use a flat. I can't use a flat surface. I have to use an edge. I need an edge, not a flat surface.
I don't understand how he doesn't have eggshell all over his eggs when he's making his eggs.
Because I'm a pro.
No. Well, I'm gonna need to see you do that.
We'll have to make a rip-off version of Swig's cooking show, and then we can demonstrate.
I'm telling you, dude. Just look into go to your parents' fridge right now. If they have 2 eggs, so text your mom. Say, "I'll get you 2 eggs after this." Go get her a dozen eggs after this. You have time to go check the fridge and see if there are 2 eggs in there.
Watts, if I'm cooking for Gordon Ramsay, am I doing like Master Chef where it's like all in front of he's watching me prepare the whole thing, or can I just show up with like a plate and like, here you go, I made this?
He's watching you do the whole thing, but he's not allowed to comment on it.
Okay.
So he's not allowed to make. He is completely like, okay, imagine you're making the meal in front of him, but he's behind a one-sided window. So it's like mirror on
Oh,
your
that's even
side.
worse.
It's mirror on your side and then glass on the other.
Mhm.
And he's not allowed to comment on the style of cooking until he's eaten it. Cause like it could be really good. Like dude, what if you just like somehow made him like the best mac and cheese ever? Like your mac and cheese was just like the best he's ever had.
I'm liking where this is going. I'd probably do so. There's probably no way to make this nice and pretty, but I'd probably do just a family recipe of mine. These stuffed mushrooms that my dad makes that he's taught me how to make. Absolute greatest appetizer in the entire world. Stuff like we do them before every holiday, every birthday. We'll make them up, and the best things in the world. So
Dude,
I'd probably do this.
Imagine him being like, your family recipe fucking sucks. Like
This is
that's
the
what
worst
I
thing
mean.
I've ever had in my life. Okay, now I'm like scared.
Yeah, dude, that's the thing. Like, imagine taking like your most prized family recipe, like something that's been passed down for 100 years. He's like, this is fucking shit. Like, I was thinking about making my eggs this morning, and I was like, dude, what if I just gave this? Like, what if Gordon Ramsay was eating this? And he just like, I was like, man, these eggs are really good this morning. And Gordon Ramsay just tried them. He's like, these are fucking shit, dude.
Have you seen him scramble an egg? Like him make scrambled eggs before? It's
I
like a
think
10
so.
it's like a 10-minute process, and it's like a
Yeah.
video that he puts out like every year, goes viral just because it's like the most like precise timing with everything you could ever for something as simple as scrambled eggs. It's
Yeah.
actually crazy. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if I could cook in front of him because that he is like a hero. I love Gordon Ramsay. I watched all of MasterChef Junior.
Dude, that's
It'd be
actually
horrible.
that's a great show idea. Just have like celebrities or random people. They just sit in front of Gordon Ramsay and they make him a meal, like their best meal they can possibly cook,
Uh-huh.
and just see what he thinks about it. And he's
That
not
would
allowed to
actually
be
be a good
nice.
idea.
He's not allowed to
Yeah.
be nice either. He has to like give his honest review.
Yeah. And if it's good, it's good. Great job. There you go. I don't know.
Dude,
I'd
that would-
say I
if
I
he
would either
had
do
your
that or try to like go super like easy and do like a barbecue thing to where it's like you can't talk that much shit. It's like,
yeah.
yeah, it's the rub, dude. What are you talking about?
If he what do you think he would give? He would rate your mushrooms.
See, now I'm like horrified that he'd be like, these are horrible. Because like, I can see how they would go wrong. I don't know. They're so good though, and they're so easy. I feel like I could do that. Like plate it
Yeah.
up really nice, make them all fancy, put them on a plate, a little platter, a little stuff on the dish, a little balsamic over the top.
Yeah.
He would say it's probably not the best mushrooms he's ever had, but he'd say they're good, solid. Not moving on to the next round, but thank you for coming out. I enjoyed it. That type of thing.
Dude, what? Why? Oh, I guess no, they do. I have watched Iron Chef or Master Chef, and he does actually. He knocks people off if their dish isn't complex enough. Because I was like, well,
Yeah.
what if somebody just made like something really, really like easy, but it was really good?
I was watching like it was just popped up on my TikTok. This dude made like Cracker Jacks with lobster, and it was like the weirdest sounding thing I've ever seen. Like Gordon was like laughing the whole time while he was eating it.
Oh yeah.
And like I don't even know, like it making someone that mean who has gotten that loud and literally like made children cry to their face, just telling them they're fucking horrible at this. Like seeing like making him laugh doing that, like just positive feedback from that'd have to be like one of the best feelings in the world. It'd be
Yeah.
like making Bill Belichick laugh after you like score
Yeah.
a touchdown.
What about you, Ryan?
What I would make Gordon? We'll see. However, grandma's got the best mac and cheese available for like Thanksgiving and all that stuff. I wouldn't want to risk my grandma's recipe getting bashed by Gordon Ramsay because that mac and cheese slaps 10 out of 10 times of the year.
If Gordon Ramsay, okay, wait. If Gordon Ramsay actually ripped to shreds your family recipe, like for me, I don't think I could eat it again. Like
No, I wouldn't be able to. It would ruin
I
it.
don't think I could never eat that dish the same way that I used to. If I was like, he thinks this is absolute dog shit.
I would make him something Armenian. I'll use my Armenian grandmother's recipes, and then he can't. I'm sure he's never really had that extent
Sheep
to it
slop.
where he can't be like, oh shit, I don't know what's going
I
on.
bet you he's had Armenian food before.
I guarantee
sure,
he's had every
but,
type of food ever.
Yeah.
He doesn't have it frequent enough to where he's like, okay,
Yeah.
I know exactly what's wrong with this.
Okay, you're talking to the most successful chef in the world right now, who has the most Michelin stars out of like any living chef right now. I guarantee
I
he's
actually-
had.
Just recently learned how the whole Michelin star thing came to by the
Okay.
fucking tires.
By the what?
Like the tire company,
Yeah.
they literally started it because they had they used to have
It's
like a
Roadman.
road trip, guide or something like that. And so they would rate these places for you to go to, and then it just kind of snowballed into like, oh, fancy is better and all that stuff. So it's kind of crazy. Something Tesla
Fun
didn't.
fact for you.
Tesla didn't do it. How many Tesla stars does your restaurant have?
Did you get eggs?
She has. So my mom's been out of town, so she only has hard-boiled eggs in the fridge right now.
Crack those.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean, I could make
Really
some-
hard though. Smash them together.
I could make some tuna with it, so I mean, it wouldn't be a waste.
I said that'd be an easy route to go where you'd probably be like, "You're a fucking idiot for making me tuna," but I would still go tuna in front of him and be like, "Yeah, it's a good tuna, huh?"
I love tuna. Like I would never.
Yeah, but if you went up to like a 5-star chef that's like, "I made you a tuna fish sandwich," you'd be like, "Get the fuck out of my face."
Is this Michelin star approved?
What if I made him toast?
I assume he'd shake your hand for like just the balls.
He's just like, I was really hungry and this hit the spot.
This is some good toast.
Yeah.
Made it myself.
Yeah.
Secret recipe. Put it in, pull it right before it gets to 3 on the scale.
Got one of these jugs.
Okay. What jug is that?
It's a Stanley jug.
Oh, you're a Stanley guy.
If I wasn't doing slightly dry January, or when I'm done with slightly dry January, this is going to be home to a lot of different Bloody Marys and other cocktails.
What is your go-to Bloody Mary mix? Because my dad found this one that he tried giving everyone while we're at Christmas, and it was like barbecue based, and it was
Okay.
horrible. I hated every second of it.
I was gonna say that didn't sound good, so I'm glad you didn't like it.
No.
Otherwise, I would have, because I was gonna plan on shitting on it. There are like 2 different ways you can make a Bloody Mary, and one is like more of a cocktail sauce type of vibe, where it's like clamato, tomato juice, Tabasco. I put Old Bay in mine. Horseradish, salt and pepper. And then there's also like a different kind of version, which is like tomato Worcestershire sauce. And it's like salt and pepper too. And that's actually really good too, but they're slightly different. But there's also, if you can find it, I mean, I've talked about it on this pod, but Tabasco does a Bloody Mary mix.
Yeah, I remember that.
Bottled, which I like a lot. And that's pretty simple.
Wait, so y'all like thoroughly enjoy drinking Bloody Marys?
I'm
Yeah.
getting more into them. I was never a fan of them. It's something about like the saltiness of it all, like just throws me off.
I
Like
still
when I'm
can't
drinking it, but I'm
Have you ever
getting
had a
more
really
into
good
them.
Bloody Mary before?
I mean, I've had my uncle thinks he's like some pro mixologist. I mean, he does make some pretty good cocktails, but the Bloody Mary, not a fan of. I've had them at a few restaurants, never was really a big fan of them. I don't know. It's just not my cup of tea.
He's
Yeah.
out there. He's like, this tastes nothing like a vodka soda.
No, tequila water. Come on. But
Yeah,
I'd
I
rather have
used-
like a mimosa or something over a Bloody Mary if I'm drinking in the morning or doing something like that.
I'm fine with mimosas, but honestly, I think mimosas, like, I much prefer a screwdriver over a mimosa. Just because I think, I don't know, it makes sense. And also champagne, it's just like, dude, it's so like bubbly and so like caloric and shit. Where like after drinking, you have to drink like, damn near a bottle of it to like get in the same zone that you would if you had like 5, screwdrivers. And so it's like after you drink a bottle of champagne, you just feel like dog shit and you're like, oh, I wish I didn't do that. Versus after you drink 5 screwdrivers, you're like, oh, I'm still feeling all right. That's my take on it.
I think I'd still go with an Irish coffee.
Yeah, I mean, or that.
Best breakfast drinks.
I would much
Best
rather have
breakfast
any of
drinks.
those than a Bloody Mary. I don't know what it is. I just can't.
I love
can't.
Irish coffees. I'm just gonna have to use the shitter after.
Yeah, but I mean, it's breakfast anyway. You're still not fully awake. You
Yeah.
get up, have
I'm
your
saying like I
breakfast.
couldn't
and-
like go out to a restaurant and get an Irish coffee.
Oh yeah, because then
like-
you're clenching the whole way home.
Yeah, exactly. Like I
Yeah.
either need to take a shit in the restaurant, which I'm fine with, but I just rather not.
We both know you're fine with it.
Yeah. Where have I taken shits before? In
The
gas
crawfish
station?
restaurant
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
where you missed an entire car accident where
Oh yeah.
we were literally just standing there, and I was like, man, he's been in there a while. And then like the waitress came back up to us. She's like, I thought y'all left a while ago. Can I help y'all? Like, no, we're waiting on our butt. And then a car accident happened right behind us. I was like, oh, this is
Jeez.
eventful.
Speaking of seafood, I don't understand why crab is so expensive. Because here's the thing, why don't we just make more crabs? Okay, like even lobster too. Like we have lobster farms, right? Where like you can get the mama and the daddy and you can put them into like, into like a little container. You just make more of them. Just like fish too. You have tilapia farms, salmon farms. Why don't we do more of that with lobster?
Because not a lot of people want to work with crab or lobsters. Now you have to pay their salaries or their wages to
Yeah, but
make
why
it.
don't they? Everybody likes that shit. Why can't we just make lobsters like the crab
I-
is the next chicken?
So I agree, but I think it's so like identical to the diamond situation where it's like,
Okay.
no, hear me out. Someone at one point was like, why don't we just charge a lot of money for this and just put them
Yeah.
out when we want? And they're like, that's good. That's good. We
No,
charge
see, I
more
think-
money for
I
it.
think it was expensive back then. I think they're keeping it expensive now. But I don't know. I agree with
I
you.
know.
though.
Every
I
time
agree.
every time I see anyone like do a cooking video, whether I'm scrolling reels or TikTok or Twitter or anything, it starts off with them just like spearfishing a crab. And it's like the first thing they do. Like,
Dude,
oh,
like,
look, a crab.
Oh my god, yeah. It is crazy to me, like the prices of non-essential things.
Uh-huh.
Like gold, diamonds, and just the fact that it's so arbitrary. Like we're just like this is all based off of having it in status as opposed to use for it.
Like, why can't I just spend less money and get cooler stuff? Like going to shop.oldbear.net during the holiday hangover sale.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's one thing you can do. I forgot the date of that offhand. That's why I'm not saying it.
Something that has made me really mad on TikTok are this new trend where it's like it's not even new at this point. It's probably like a week old or a week and a half old. But people, they'll make a TikTok and they'll say like something crazy about my state that would put like a Californian into a coma, or like something about my state that would put a Texan into a coma, or something about where I live that would put a Floridian into a coma. And I'm like, oh my fucking god, because these people are just describing fucking highways. Literally,
Yeah.
like, the traffic on I-95 in New Jersey would put a person from North Dakota in a coma. Oh my fucking god! Like people talk. I listened to this one chick talk about she was talking about things, and she lives in like the DMV, so like Virginia, Northern
Yeah.
Virginia. She was like things in Northern Virginia that would put a Floridian into a coma. Neighborhoods without gates. Okay, so I noticed that like most of my friends live in gated communities in Florida, and so they would actually see neighborhoods that don't have gates. That would put them into a coma. A neighborhood, a normal neighborhood without
Without a gate.
without
It's like,
gated
what-
communities. Honey, are you okay? Like, first of all, like, way to dox yourself as a sorority girl, because like there are tons of communities in Florida without gates.
Yeah.
And secondly, it's like she was talking about the traffic on this interstate, or like how close the states are together. Oh my fucking god. Like, you dumb bitch. This is so stupid. Like, you stop trying to make it seem like your bumfuck shitty ass suburb is as any more different than the next shitty ass suburb. Like, this is like, I saw one, okay, things in Montana that would put anybody else into a coma. That kind of makes sense. It's like, yo, you have grizzly bears. All
I
right.
get
That
it.
would probably
That could kill someone. Yeah.
that would put you into a coma. What's the other one she had? She had the states are close together, highways, the traffic on the highway. Florida would never get that. Oh, Imagine seeing them how they drive. Oh yeah, okay. Uh oh my god. Oh, things being named after presidents. She was like, there's so many things here named after presidents. Bitch, everywhere things are named after
Everything.
presidents.
Yeah.
Are you dumb in the head? Yeah, like okay, if somebody saw something called Washington Street, they would fucking flip their shit.
What is this? No,
Yeah.
no, no.
Something named after Lincoln. Holy fuck. That would put me into a coma. I saw another guy say the size of our high schools in California. Dude, I went to a fucking 54-person high school in California. What the fuck are you talking about? Also, every state in the country has massive public schools. Have you ever been out of your neighborhood? Like, this is what troubles me is that they think like their perception of other people is shocking to me. Like it wouldn't put like they do these TikTok videos like the other person is a crazy person. No, you're the psychopath who thinks somehow that your subdivision and little corner of the world is vastly different from everywhere else. No, like people know about traffic, dude. You're not anything special.
Yeah, I mean, that's the part that I don't get is like how like unworried they are to go outside of their bubble. They're like, no. People need to hear this, and I don't need to know anything else about everything.
Yeah.
It's like just wait until they go to Dallas and see like the George Bush Library. Like just see what they'll do.
And then everybody in that like specific area, they're like, "Oh my god, yeah, nobody gets us." I've also seen this trend. Well, it's like right now, like we're just in a it's such a cycle, like social media of I'll see somebody like tweet or TikTok about something. Like, for example, there's that TikTok trend where people are going up to their moms and saying that a celebrity died, and everybody's laughing their fucking and everybody was laughing their tits off. They're like, "Oh my god, this is so funny." And then it's like 2 days pass, and every single time something like this happens, there's a shift. It's like it goes from, "Oh my god, that's so funny," to you should here are 5 reasons why you should never film and tell your mom about a celebrity like dying and blah 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 blah. That's trauma. And then all the same people that were laughing and giggling at that message were like, you know what? Now I think about it, it is wrong. I'm on the other
That's
side
a good point.
now. And then it's just like this cycle of like, oh, somebody like takes a picture of a dude who looks stupid in public. Everybody laughs. Everybody laughs. Everybody laughs. We shouldn't be taking pictures of dudes in public. Period.
Yeah.
It's a violation of privacy. The same people. Everybody starts getting mad. Everybody starts getting mad. Everybody starts getting mad.
And then
Like,
it just goes back. So
it
whatever
just
the
loops
next
and
bit
loops
is.
and loops around.
Mhm.
I have a flashlight with me.
Oh, there we go. You'd be
My
a
dad
good
wants-
cop.
Yeah, my dad wants me to bring it to New York. And I didn't really think about it. I was like, why are flashlights like built like battering rams? And my dad said it's by design. It's like because you don't actually your flashlight can be, like this big, which is
Yeah.
a perfectly normal average size. Like honestly, some would say it's too big.
That's a huge flashlight, I would say.
Yeah. This is just impractical. I mean, it barely fits in my hands. So
I have to hold it with 2 hands.
yeah. But yeah, no. So apparently, like it is built for like power and control.
Like the shake weight.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Wait. Ah, 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 ah.
for the people who don't watch the YouTube, what just happened there? I'll explain it as eloquently as I can. Nicholas J. Watts, decided to hold the flashlight as if it was a flaccid object connected to his body, his lower appendage, if you will, and proceeded to go up and down with his hands around said object until it was at the point of no return, and he turned on the flashlight. I'm going to start describing stuff. I think that's going to be my new bit, just describing videos to people who don't watch videos.
Yeah, well, that'd be good for the
Yeah.
blind community.
Yeah, we got to worry about the blind community.
like George Clooney, when he sold Casamigos, he got like a big check. He got really paid off. Got something like hundreds of millions of dollars. And then he invited all of his buddies to like his house in Lake Como. And then he gave them all, he sat them down, 10 of them. Now this is the most fucked up shit. There's 10 of the friends that he gave these briefcases to, and the briefcases were full of, I think it's either 10 million or $1 million each. And the reason why I think it's hilarious, because dude, imagine being like that 11th guy, like being that but anyways, like I guess because I don't know like who your like close personal friends are, like all of them, but I am curious as to like, would you guys like, how much money if you guys had, let's say everybody had like $500 million, like, or let's say you had as much money as Elon Musk, you had $200 billion. Like, are you giving out that money to all of your cousins? Like, at what point does the buck stop?
We'll see. It depends. That's why I was like saying you gotta befriend them. You gotta be one of the homeboys. Offer to work at like one of the offices or something. Prove that you aren't just wanting a handout. And saying then maybe he'll treat you right. But I feel like in that case it'd have to be like close blood only kind of family.
Yeah, like I only have
like
two
someone else
cousins.
that actually like helped me.
I only have two cousins. Like, yeah, if I had $200 billion, like I could probably, I mean, if I had $200 billion cash, which he doesn't have, but like let's just pretend like it is cash. Like I could easily cut a check for, all my cousins, like, and close relatives for $1 billion.
Mhm.
So I wonder if he does that. Like that would be such a sick baller move to do.
It would be. It'd be fun. I have 8 cousins, so like that's where it's like, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, but if he had $200 billion cash.
No, yeah, and I like, okay, so like it wouldn't be every Christmas or birthday, but I'd probably do like what, because $10,000 at that point's nothing, and that still means the world to someone. If someone gave me $10,000 right now, I'd be happy as shit.
Yeah,
write that check for
okay,
10,000.
but if your uncle or whatever, if your cousin was worth $200 billion and they gave you $10,000, that would be kind of fucked up now.
That would be shitty. Yeah, no, that would be shitty, and I'd feel shitty, but I'd still have 10 grand. It's not like
I'd
a piece of shit.
Hell. I'd be happy as hell.
And that, not only that, that's like an every birthday or Christmas type of thing. That's just, it's continuous for.
I would be happy as
years.
hell, but at a certain point, I would be like, damn, like, dude, imagine like if one cousin got something and the other cousin didn't. Like that would be.
See, that's why it would have to be even in that cut number. And I like, if one of them came up to me, I'd be like, I did not want to play favorites. This is just the way it is.
Yeah.
You'd have to sit them down, tell them that. For like giving out the big bag of like $10 million, just setting it in front of someone. Obviously, what Ryan said, close family, but I think the best answer for it would probably just be like for your wedding party, like all of your groomsmen. Like I would just like for a bachelor gift for all of them for coming out and helping out and doing all that. That would be that. And that's how you keep it to like your close knit group.
You would have to, but like, dude, you could if you had $200 billion cash, you could basically give 10 people $1 billion and it wouldn't mean anything to you.
Yeah,
you would then have $190 billion. Isn't that kind of crazy? Like Elon Musk could legitimately just like give $1 billion to somebody, and like you could take somebody. Not that I'm not even thinking about like the whole like, oh, he could solve like world hunger type of stuff, but like he could just come knock on one of our doors. We could go for like, we could be set for life in a 30-second exchange. Like, hey, here's $1 billion, drop it off on the door, and then you just never have to worry about anything for the rest of your life.
I'm a DM Elon right now.
That's kind of cool. Yeah, dude. Why has nobody ever been able to like convince him? Hey, can I just get like $1 million? Like $1 million, dude. That's nothing.
That's nothing to you. Hey, dude. How about this charity? Buy Grant a new grantwantsahouse.com.
Sure did last night, and it was
Oh my god,
it was all right, but
I couldn't finish it.
really,
Yeah, I got 28 minutes in, and then they started singing again, and I was like,
Well,
come
I
on.
just skipped through some of the songs.
Yeah, I should have done that. I did
That's
not
just
have
what
the
I
power
did.
to do that.
They were just because most of the songs were like very unimportant to the plot. They were just there. But it was crazy to me because I was like, damn, this dude, Will Ferrell, like a legend in the game. He hasn't had a good song. Or sorry, he hasn't had a good movie, like an iconic movie in 12 years or 13 years almost, like in 2023. Because to me, The Other Guys was his last iconic movie.
Yep.
People could say that like the campaign to me, it was all right. It wasn't to me, it wasn't anything to write home about personally.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree.
So I didn't really think of that as like an iconic Will Ferrell movie.
You could argue Anchorman 2, like coming back,
That see,
but
the thing is though, is like I didn't want to count sequels into the
fair.
iconic movie section because like I mean for me, I like we can just go through the Will Ferrell movies. Anchorman, fucking oh, how did I just immediately blank? Anchorman, the other fucking Old School, Other
Talladega
Guys,
Nights.
Talladega Nights, Blades of Glory, Step Brothers. You can even throw Wedding Crashers into there. I mean, he didn't star in that. He didn't necessarily star in Old School either, but very crucial in both of those movies.
Elf, Kicking and Screaming.
Elf, Kicking and Screaming. Just like I feel like in that period, the list just goes on and on. Wasn't he in
Mhm.
Zoolander too?
Yeah, Mugatu.
Yeah, he was in Zoolander. And again, didn't star in all of these, but was still, a major part of all
Every
this.
time he's on, he's the funniest part of the movie. Yeah.
Yeah. And so like I was just like, I'm just floored because I'm looking at his filmography since 2010 or 2012, depending on how you look at the campaign. And it's just bad. And I'm surprised because maybe he just doesn't want to do it anymore. And this is just the stuff that they're paying him a lot of money to do. I'm just really curious as to why, he's not like he hasn't had an iconic movie like that in a really long time.
Well, I think that so this is just me telling a story off of a tweet I saw, but doesn't he no longer do movies with the guy who produced all of those movies for him?
Oh, Adam McKay. Is that his
Yeah, he
name?
no longer does anything with Adam McKay because Adam McKay didn't cast him in that Lakers show he did with John C. Reilly. So
But that was so long ago.
I know,
sorry,
that
sorry.
was
Sorry, that was-
recent. That was
that was
like
so
started
recent, but,
production like
like-
the past 2 years. So
Yeah,
that-
exactly. Like,
But even before then, it's like you didn't have jack shit. So
Yeah.
I think that might be part of it. But at the same time, like this is gonna sound really stupid, but you'll kind of see where I'm going with this. Everything has become so like careful because no one wants to go cross that line anymore.
Yeah.
And what made Will Ferrell so funny is that there was no line, like it's just what was funny just played. And like he wasn't scared to even, hesitate.
yeah,
It
but I
just-
don't think like even in like his best movies, like there's not like a lot of stuff that's like aggressively offensive. And like maybe it is the way that movies have gone where it's like, all the comedy movies have been reserved for like young children pretty much. As opposed
yeah,
to
like that's kind of where I was going. Like, look at
Yeah.
like what was the last generally funny movie you saw like recently that like was made to be a comedy?
for old people too, like
Yeah.
people like of our age. Dude, that's a good question. That's scary too.
Like, because what now the movies like either have Kevin Hart or it's an action movie with funny stuff in it.
Yeah, it's an action movie with funny stuff, or it's just like really, really like butchered comedy movie.
Mhm.
Well, there was dude, I'm trying to think now. Like there have been funny movies.
But like, which one of those were made to be comedies, like Step Brothers or like Anchorman?
Yeah.
Because they just don't make those movies anymore.
I'm looking at best comedies 2010s. Because I'm obviously blanking on like a bunch of different comedies.
I'm sure there will be some.
And like, okay, so here's like the popular 2010s comedies, and you're not gonna like any of this stuff, but I'm just gonna read them off because I mean the first three are probably, like very okay. Crazy Rich Asians is good. I wouldn't necessarily say go as far to be like to me that was a rom-com. Like that,
Yeah.
Good Boys, it was fine. I watched it.
What was Good Boys?
It was like about like three little boys and like
Oh yeah.
nothing
Stupid.
special. The
Yeah.
Nice Guys, I liked it. Again, that's
Nice Guys
action.
is not a comedy. It's
Yeah,
an action
action.
movie where they're
That's
funny.
funny.
Yeah.
Don't know what Spy was. Spy? Have you seen Spy?
Spy was the one with Jason Statham and Melissa
Yeah.
McCarthy.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen that one. Again, action. That's kind of funny. Grand Budapest Hotel. I mean, no, I don't really consider that to be. It's a Wes
That's not a
Anderson
comedy.
film.
Yeah.
Booksmart. I saw that is, very average.
Never saw that.
Game Night. That was actually kind of funny.
That was all right. I
Yeah,
don't hate that one. I mean, it's still nowhere near that level though that we were just talking about.
I love the
What's that?
fact that they're calling The Big Short a comedy. Yeah, the 2008 recession was so funny.
Half that movie is dealing with Steve Carell, like dealing with half that movie is dealing with Steve Carell dealing with suicide and his brother died. Funny.
Ladybird.
Did not see that one either.
I heard that's not even funny. I heard that's like supposed to be dramatic. And then there's three in a row that are all funny, but they're also from the early 2010s. Bridesmaids 2011, This Is the End 2013, 21 Jump Street 2012. Hail Caesar, I couldn't get through. The Edge of 17, haven't seen.
Those first few movies you just listed are all hilarious, great movies. But that was like the last golden age, the end of
Yeah.
the golden age of comedy.
Dude, this is crazy. I mean, Love Simon, The Death of Stalin, Blinded by the Light. Haven't seen all three of those. Cock Blockers. I watched that. Wish I didn't.
John Cena's horny, dude. Funny.
The Big Sick. That was funny. But that was in 2017, and it wasn't like incredibly funny. Like it was about a girl dying of like cancer too. So.
Yeah, but now it's like, what's that Pete Davidson movie, The King of Staten Island? Like it's movies like that
Yeah,
that are like
where-
comedies now.
Dude, this is crazy. Crazy, dude. This is insane. Like I have not found like a single one recently where I'm like, this is an all-time comedy classic. Let me go to Rotten Tomatoes right now.
They don't make them anymore.
I guess the Tommy Wiseau was kind of funny with James Franco. What was that?
The Room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched the Blue Jasmine. That was not a comedy. That was like depressing. That was about San Francisco too. It was actually filmed in like my family friend's office.
Mm.
Dude, this is scary. Comedy is like comedy movies are dead.
Yeah. No, big dead until like someone comes out and just does it again. And I don't see how people can do it again. Because so what, like guys like the Workaholics guys, they have like their TV show and then they tried to do a movie, and even the movie was like just very mid because like they're able to be those characters. Like the reason we love them was because their TV show was so funny.
I liked that movie. It was all right.
Game Over Men was all right. Yeah, it just still wasn't like as good as
The show.
Workaholics was.
Logan Lucky, that was funny, but again, that was kind of action. Dude, this is crazy. Yeah, The Disaster Artist, that was what it was called. Not the Room.
Yeah.
The Room is the original one, and I've seen both. I didn't love The Disaster Artist though either.
Like it had funny parts. It wasn't great. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They just don't make comedy movies anymore.
Comparing this
Did you look at the 50 best comedies of 2010s by Rotten
Yeah, Rotten
Tomatoes?
Tomatoes. It's
Yeah,
awful.
not a good list.
What was the one movie that has like Seth Rogen, like all like the main actors, but they play themselves like in the
This is the
apocalypse?
end.
I saw that recently too, and that one was pretty funny when I was not mentally here.
2012 or 2013? What was that, Watts? 2013?
What? This is the
This
end.
is the end.
2013, yeah.
Yeah. So like that's what we're saying. Like since 2014, which welcome back Ryan to the podcast. Since 2014, there literally has not been a funny movie that's just made to be a comedy.
And so in the 2000s, though, Super Bad, Anchorman, Zombieland, Tropic Thunder, let's see, The Hangover, 40-Year-Old Virgin, Shrek was in there, Knocked Up, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, School of Rock. I mean,
Heaters,
Wedding
heaters on heaters
Crashers,
on heaters on
even
heaters.
Mean Girls, dude. Mean Girls, Zoolander. Let's see what else they got here. Dodgeball,
Heater.
Super Troopers, Napoleon
Heater.
Dynamite, Borat, Step Brothers,
Zoolander was ahead of its time.
Harold and Kumar.
Heater.
Which, by the way, Cal Penn, you know that he's gay now.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Bad Santa.
They just don't make movies like that.
No,
They don't. They refuse.
Well, now it's like everything will get canceled if it's too bad.
I disagree with that, though. I disagree with that. I don't think it's true. I think Grant's right. It's a money thing. Because it costs so much to make a movie that, like, if it's not something that they know is going to be successful, then it's not going to be a hit. Plus, the audience for these movies, like, people aren't like rarely going to go to a theater for one of these movies. Like, they're going to want to watch it at home.
Oh yeah, Netflix
Yeah.
killed funny movies.
No, none of them are hitting, and like, it used to, like, I don't know, the pipeline used to kind of be from SNL. And now, I mean, SNL, it's like, dude, you can get like, SNL's great. It's got the most diversity out of any TV show on earth. So, they got that going for them. But in terms of funny actors, I think they're kind of lacking.
Yeah, like I'm even looking at Andy Samberg now, who might have been the last funny guy from SNL. And it's like Palm Springs. I wouldn't consider that really a comedy. And Pop Star, that was funny, but
I'm also
Still not up
confused
to
as
that level.
opposed to like, or as to like, I mean, Keenan Thompson was probably like one of the last big guys on SNL. Like, why hasn't he come up with any movies? Like, he has no movies except for being on Saturday Night Live forever.
well, that bag pays pretty handsomely. And if you got that bag for as long as you want it, why not ride it? Him and Bobby Moynihan can have that for however long they want.
29, and then back home 30 flights in the last year. That's too much flying, bro.
You're a psychopath. We'll dumb it down this next year. This is a point though where if you are a college student, you are still listening at this point. We love you and we support you. But if you are a college student, you want us to come out. We are looking for stops on the tailgate tour. Me, Nick Watts, and Ryan Booty Cans are gonna go and talk to our bosses and start planning our tailgate tour for next year here in the next couple weeks. So if you make the case for us, I will at least hear you out. I'm not promising anything, but I will at least hear you out. We have a couple stops that are already dead set, but we want to, make sure we fit in more people, make sure we go more places, and make sure we give you guys the full Old Row experience so you guys could get a glimpse of how much fun college could really be.
College won't be fun without us.
I haven't had fun without Old Row in years.
But yeah, no. So that's why I realized that's why I bitch and moan about the airport so much. Is because that can't be healthy for you, right? Like, I don't know. I feel like I probably, like, flying on the airplanes definitely has like a negative effect on you're like in something. I don't know what it is, but it's gotta.
I need to do it just so my ears could pop. My left ear hasn't popped in months. I
Really?
don't know what to do. Yeah,
Oh, see, when I was little, I had like tubes in my ear or whatever.
I did too.
But
Yeah,
every
yeah.
time when I fly, my like ears hurt so fucking bad. It
Mhm.
sounds, it feels like they're getting hammered, and I'm just like,
Mhm.
dude, this is like miserable.
Who's hammering your ear, Ryan?
My last flight to Dallas, it was Chief Keef, Love No Thotties, just hammering my ear.
Dude, tinnitus is no joke.
Tonight is not fun. I saw Archer.
Thank you guys for listening.
Love y'all. Bye.
Hey guys. Bye.